Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. I think it's about time that I share a pizza recipe with you guys. Today I'll be making one of my favorite varieties, prosciutto and arugula pizza. We're going to start things off with a homemade pizza dough, add a tomato sauce, basil pesto, mozzarella cheese, prosciutto, arugula. This pizza is loaded with so much amazing flavor. You guys are going to love it. I'm going to start things off with a homemade pizza dough. Now, I've had this recipe in my family for as long as I can remember making pizza. It's the perfect no-fail pizza dough. We're going to start things off with 1 cup of milk. You want to heat it in the microwave or on the stove top. You want it to be warm, not hot, so that it doesn't kill the yeast. Pour that into a bowl. Sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast, and let this proof for about 5 minutes. And after letting the yeast proof, I'm just going to whisk it into the milk. Then add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 5 tablespoons of olive oil. It's going to make this dough really soft, and 1 large egg. Whisk that in until it's nice and smooth. I've measured out 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add in a little bit at a time. I'm going to use my whisk to mix it in at first and then switch over to my spatula when a soft dough forms. And once a soft dough forms, I'm going to turn it out onto my work surface. And keep kneading the dough and adding flour as needed until you have a soft and elastic dough. And then transfer the dough into a bowl that's been lightly greased with olive oil. Just roll the dough in there. I'm going to cover my dough with a clean kitchen towel and let it proof in a warm corner of my kitchen for 45 minutes to an hour. Meanwhile, I'm going to prep all my toppings. For my pizzas, I like to make my own sauce. Feel free to use your favorite store-bought variety if that's what you want to go with. I just have 1 cup of tomato sauce, season that with a little bit of salt, and I just like to add a variety of different spices. I literally just pull out all the Italian spices I have in my cabinet. Some thyme leaves, a little rosemary, dried basil, a little garlic powder, and a few fennel seeds. Just give that a mix. My dough has proofed beautifully. Look at that. I'm just going to punch it down. I'm going to take it out of this mixing bowl and give it a quick knead for about a minute. Now this is enough pizza dough to make 1 large pizza. If you want to make 2 smaller flatbread pizzas like I'm making today, just split the dough in half. I've greased my pizza pan with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to transfer my dough onto that sheet. Give it a little bit of stretch, like that. Perfect. And before I add any toppings, I'm just going to pierce the surface of the dough with a fork. Drizzle on some olive oil. Just spread that all over the surface of the pizza. And season that with a little bit of salt and ground black pepper. Add a thin layer of the tomato sauce. I don't like to add too much. I want it just to have a little hint of tomato. Next up, mozzarella cheese. A few dollops of basil pesto. It's going to add some amazing basil flavor. And then sprinkle on some Parmesan cheese. And for the final ingredient, sliced shallots. And now I'm just going to let my pizza proof at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my oven preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to bake the pizza for about 20-25 minutes until it's golden brown and just the way I like it on top. Now, I did prepare both pizzas today. The second one I placed onto a sheet of parchment paper, wrapped it up with some plastic wrap, and I'm going to put this into the refrigerator. It's going to be perfect for about 4 to 5 days. And then you can just take it out of the fridge and place it onto a pizza pan, into the oven, anytime you want some fresh pizza. I just took my pizza out of the oven and let me tell you, it smells so good. Cannot wait to dig in and enjoy this. I'm just gonna top this off with slices of prosciutto. And I absolutely love prosciutto. It's one of my favorite cured meats. I'm gonna add a generous amount over the top so you get a little bit with every bite. And now this next ingredient that I'm adding is optional, but I love to add a little bit of capers to the top. My husband loves capers, so do I. So we're gonna add a few to the top. Top this off with some arugula. Last ingredient that I like to add to the top is some balsamic glaze. Just drizzle it over the top. Ah, how gorgeous does this look? So good. And that's it for my pizza. Time to dig in. Now, since we added so much arugula on the top, does this also count as a salad? I think so. Now this is what I call a super delicious pizza. It's packed with so much flavor and every single bite, way better than any delivery or takeout pizza you're going to get anywhere. And you know exactly what's going in it. It's just so simple and delicious. Love the prosciutto, arugula, mozzarella, basil pesto. All that combined together is amazing. And that crust is really good too. It's really nice and thin, but it's still soft and it has so much flavor. It really complements the pizza rather than take anything away from it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe. Now, if you don't like prosciutto and arugula pizza, you could still use the pizza dough, which I highly, highly recommend using. If you guys are looking for the recipe, head down into my video description box and you can get the link to my recipe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.